Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and we have a new relay challenge called Immortal Mose. But before I get into that, I do want to let you all know that this is the last day that we can get Jeanette, so make sure that you roll these. I was actually going to make a video about this today, but I thought it was more important to go ahead and go over Immortal Mose. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look at this guy. So this is just like all the other relay dungeons where we can get all these rubies, which is great. We get all these fantastic rubies, so it's very important that we score as many points as we can. 500 million to get the ultimate reward, which is 1,000 rubies plus all these other rubies, which is great. And then of course we can get the gold hammers, we can get the imprint stones, which is really nice. And you see these imprint stones offer shock damage, HP, to attack, balance, and defense. I imagine that's pretty much it. Yep. Okay. Which is pretty cool. So, and lo and behold, that's exactly what you need to take this guy down. Shock damage. So your first team, you want to make sure you have a shock damage character, which is going to be Xion. Xion, because he's going to be a yellow type. He has the type advantage. Plus he has this wonderful leadership of the increased yellow fighter attack by 45% and power charge rate by 20%. This is very, very important because I've been doing some testing with the Rio card set and it doesn't seem to help. But having a PG gain leadership does seem to help in this event, as well as Elemental Typhoon. And lo and behold, they did a little something here. All decrease defenses and stuns the target when applying dot explosion. So when you apply dot explosion, bleed explosion, shock damage explosion to this boss, you're actually going to stun him and decrease his defenses. And this is very important because you're going to be doing more damage to him when you decrease the defenses, but you're also going to stun him, which is going to lock him in place. Now, I'm not sure if this is really the optimal way to go because what I've done is I put two characters here that have dot explosion. You only need one. And since we need shock damage on the first team, you could really just put Xion. And if you have Charlotte, maybe put her on the other team. However, I'm going to be using Gintoki because he also has bleed explosion, but he will have the type disadvantage. And I got Iori now. You know, I would put Iori in the leadership to have that 60% to attack types. But again, that power charge rate is very, very important. And we have Pretty Zero because she's a yellow type as well. She's going to do lots of damage. She's also going to have that PG rate for Nameless. And Nameless has that long PG gain. And he's just a damage dealing monster in hopes that we can do his 3 PG often as well. And then Gintoki, of course, for his bleed explosion. For your first team, you just need shock damage. You only need one character that applies shock damage. So that way you can increase the enemy's damage received. It doesn't matter how much shock damage as long as there's shock damage. So you can put Ignatz here, you can put Vanessa here, you can put Shermie here because she has shock damage, Geese Howard maybe if you want, but I chose to go with these guys because these are all yellow fighters. They're all going to have the advantage against this guy because he is a purple, and then of course Pretty Zero because she's a yellow, and then Nameless is going to be on a level playing field because he's also going to be a purple. Gintoki will have the disadvantage, but again, having that bleed explosion is going to stun this guy, so that way we can keep him locked in place and do that much more damage. You'll find it's a lot easier when you can stun this dude. And then all resets active skill cooldowns when attacking a certain rate. So I'm not really sure exactly what this means. We're going to have to look more into this. And then, of course, the decreased power charge rate of all the fighters. And again, I tested the Rio set, and it just didn't seem to work that well. As far as my cards, for Xion, I'm using a Ryu set, which really isn't the optimal. Actually, you could put the Kane set for your damage, or maybe the Noah set. Something like that would be really great for this guy. The Tekken set maybe, but I really don't think the Tekken set's really helping as far as PG gain as well. Charlotte, I do have a Noah set on her. And she is 2 stars. Xion's 2 stars. And Iori is 4 stars. Iori's just a damage dealing monster. We're only going to be able to use his special skill, not his ultimate skill. We could use it, but we want to delay the timer as much as possible. So I'm going to try to focus on just using his special skill and not his ultimate because it's a grab. It'll immediately get canceled. You get the damage from it, but we want to stall the timer as much as possible so the other characters can hopefully build up their PG. I do have the Tekken set, but I really don't think this set is making that much difference because of the mechanism, the way the decreased PG gain works on this boss. I just don't think it really works. But having an Elite Ship, the increased percentage to power gain, I think it is working. Pretty Zero, I have a Noah set on her. Again, the Akane would be probably number 1. Gintoki, I'm running the Yantama set, which is a great set, but again, the Akane would be number 1 for damage, and then the Noah set maybe. And then Nameless here, we're running the KS set, which is a great set for this guy. Nameless does have PG gain in his core effects. That's another reason I'm going to try to use him. But we're going to see just how many points I can score. Now, I've already tested this a couple times, and I was able to hit over 200 million with my current setup. So I don't know if this is the best teams yet. I do know that Yellow Fighters are going to have the advantage. I do know that having one shock damage character on your first team is going to help tremendously. And I really think Xion is the character you want to use in the leadership, especially for having that PG gain. And having 2 Yellow Fighters is really going to be the way to go. For your second team, you really just want to use the strongest characters possible. Make sure that they are not blue fighters. I mean, I am using Gintoki, but he is a collab character. And unfortunately, Charlotte's a collab character, which is kind of a bummer, but she really is extremely valuable in this because of that bleed explosion, because she is a yellow attack fighter, because she's going to benefit from Xion's PG rate gain from the leadership. Really amazing. I actually want to replace Gintoki, but he's built really well. He does have imprint stones on him, so that's why I'm going to use him. Plus, he has a 3 PG card, and he has 3 PG gain in his core effects. He won't benefit from Pretty Zero's leadership, but, you know, he'll still do okay. You'll find that he's probably only going to do his PG gain once, or his PG card once. So I'll probably make another video about this, but this is just a quick rundown. This is the first day. I really didn't have a lot of time. I actually just got off a live stream, and I've just kind of been toying with this. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to play as Iori. Here we go. And really with Iori, you want to start with the third skill first, but the computer, the AI went in and started with his third skill, so okay. Here we go. There we go. Come on, man. And the Tekken set really synergizes really well with Corey, or with Iori. And look at how the boss is just sitting there. Look at how he's just sitting there. He's just stunned. He can't do anything because of the bleed explosion and the shock damage explosion. Like I said, you only need 1 dot explosion effect. Come on, here we go. Oh yeah, Charlotte, get him, girl. Let's go. Let's go, come on. Let's get this bastard. And like I said, you know, I haven't worked out all the kinks. I'm still trying to figure out what we need to do here. Let's go. So hopefully we can get like 100 million with this first team. All right, here we go. And you see that blue, the blue numbers? That means that that's showing that Gintoki actually has a disadvantage against this boss. But because he's in here, he will apply bleed explosion. There we go. Come on. And I really want to use Pretty Zero's 5 PG. There we go. It's a nice long animation. And preferably you want to use this instead of her special skill. Another thing about the boss being stunned all the time is because he's sitting still, He's not attacking you. He's not doing any damage to you, so it's very important to have that explosion. You know, I'm pretty much just face tanking with these characters, because we're able to use the explosion. Let's go. Let's go. Finally, Gintoki does his. And like I said, I tried using the Ryu set on Gintoki for this. And man, it just wasn't worth a crap. It didn't seem like I was gaining anything. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Be nice if Nameless could do his PG one more time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Here we go. So it looks like about 231 million. It's not bad. And this is a 2-star Xion, a 2-star Charlotte. I do have 4 stars though, to keep in mind. And I do have imprint stones only on Gintoki, who actually has a type advantage. I really want to replace Gintoki, to be perfectly honest, because he does have that disadvantage. And you saw he only used his 3 PG once. So that doesn't really help. I really would like to have a character in here that could benefit. I almost think maybe what I'll do is I'll put Ignis in here next time. Even though Ignis has a 5 PG card, I think that'd been better because he's 4-star and he does more damage, but we wouldn't have the bleed explosion. And that's why I think I probably done better with this setup, because Pretty Zero can die pretty easy. Actually, once her immunity runs out from a core effect, she can actually die pretty easy. So this isn't really a guide. It's just kind of a heads up about this dungeon. Hopefully it'll help some of you out there. We'll go ahead and collect all these wonderful rubies. Hell yes. So I will make another video about Immortal Mose, but hopefully this will give you all an idea of what you need to do to try to hopefully score as many points as possible. And if any of you have any team compositions or any ideas about how you're dealing with it and getting a high score, let me know in the comments. And as always, let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.